Thank you. Welcome to Cabaret. Before we start, I just want to say, first off, thank you for being here. And secondly, although this is a very entertaining and raucous performance, it also contains scenes of sexual assault. And we are trying our best to hold this in a safe space. So if at any point you feel uncomfortable, feel like you need to leave, please take whatever space you need. We hope you will stay for the conversation that we're going to have that we made into art. All right, thank you. See you guys soon.
Troubles outside. So, life is disappointing. Forget it. We have no troubles in here. In here, life is beautiful. The dancers are beautiful. Even the orchestra is beautiful. And now presenting the Cabaret dancers, Rosie! Rosie is so called for the color of her cheeks. Now Rosie. Nola! Oh, you like Nola, do you? Too bad, so does Rosie. Frenchie! She is from France and speaks French, but don't worry, she is a very cunning linguist. And Victor and Bobby! Or is it Bobby and Victor? No, there's really only one way to tell the difference. I'll show you later. And Sophie. It's true, I'm like a father to her. And when she's bad, I spank her. And she's very, 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 very bad. Rosie, Nola, Frenchie, Victor, Bobby, and Sophie. Each and every one of them, a virgin. What? You don't believe me? Well, don't take my word for it. Go ahead, try Sophie. have to battle with the dancers to keep them from taking off all of their clothing. So don't go away. Who knows? Tonight we may lose the battle. Happy to see you. One more important character to the show. Because every story needs a cis white straight man for the other narratives to center around and anchor to. Without his penetrating phallic presence, surely we'd all spiral into a puddle of chaos and femininity. So let me introduce you to this new character. We'll call him Billy. But Billy actually falls into a different archetype. Some would call him the fool archetype. Others would call him a nature boy, or a Peter Pan archetype. This one has always been interesting to me. The glorification of the magical masculine who refuses to grow up, refuses to accept responsibility, refuses accountability, but is certainly full of magic and charm. We love to love him, and he loves to love.
But what is love?
Oh, good question, Bobby. What is love? Does it mean always saying yes, allowing, pushing further and further into potential? Perhaps we will just have to wait and see.
There was a boy, very strange and strange boy. Say he wandered very far over land and sea, a little shy, and satisfied, and not yet wise. Was he? And then one day he passed my way, and we spoke a
simple. Love, 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 unconditional love. Divine love, buckets and barrels and bushels of love. How many dollars to a barrel of love? Can it be measured? If love is immeasurable, can it be consumed? Like if I have 500 shares of love in Bitcoin, how many shares do I have to give up in order to afford Tinder Premium? Like 3? Who knows? Anyway, our next number is a flurry of feathered fun, and you guessed it, it's about the excessive, overindulgent fixation on consuming that we are all actively suffering from. Wait, no, that wasn't right. It's about the trauma we all experience from capitalism. No, that wasn't right either. What I really mean to say is, it's about love.
She okay? They nearly killed her.
Oh, that piece of meat, she'll be fine. Send her back through the processor and she'll be turned back into a juicy chicken nugget in no time.
But she's not a nugget, she's a person.
And what are you, a poultry? Besides, why are you so sensitive? Toughen up. Be a man. This is the real world after all, right? Why don't you grow a pair and get over it? I'll show you how.
Got that big dick energy, I never want to know. super loud, fast. Were you also playing too? I couldn't hear you, I was busy playing loud and fast with my big dick energy. I need everyone to know. Got that big dick energy, I need everyone to know. Up in my car like vroom, 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 vroom. Banging my drums like boom, 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 boom. Don't gotta listen to you, don't give a fuck about you. I got that big dick energy, I need everyone to know. I got that big dick energy, I need everyone to know. I do what I want, don't ask for permission. And I interrupt you when you talk, my ears are just here for decoration. Got that big dick energy, I need everyone to know. I got that big dick energy, I need everyone to know. Up in my truck like vroom, 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 vroom. Banging my drums like boom, 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 boom. Don't gotta listen to you. Don't give a fuck about you. I got that big dick energy, I need everyone to know. I got that big dick energy, I need everyone to know. That I got a big dick, big dick, big dick, big dick. I'm a big dick, big dick, big dick, big dick. I got a big dick, big dick, big dick, big dick. I need everybody in the whole wide world to know I got a big old dick.
All right, now that we've got that transformation out of the way, it's time to put that super thick, sexy entitlement to use. Privilege at the ready, don't let them catch you slipping. Everything you could ever want and more is just beyond that line that is other people's boundaries.
Their boundaries?
Oh, you know boundaries, if you can even call them that. Emotional boundaries, physical boundaries, what people feel, or at least think they feel safe and comfortable with. But what do they know? They just had a chicken nugget fight. So, like I said, these folks are easy peasy, so give them a squeezy.
But what if they don't want to be squeezed?
Like I said, everything you could ever want, and you rightfully deserve, is just beyond that line of other people's boundaries. So go ahead, have your pick of the buffet.
Hey, sugar, can I talk to you for a minute? What's the harm of a little talk?
Hey, mister, you want a little cigarette, huh?
Hi, Master, you speak French, parlez-vous français?
Hey, Tiger. You want to dance? A little dance never hurt nobody.
I'm Rosie.
Not for long, you ain't.
Oh, you're so tall.
How about we have some fun?
She walked in the joint. I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender. Good looking, so refined. So wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? So let me get right to the point. I don't pop my cork for every guy I see. Hey, big spender! Spend a little time with
Therapy? Who needs therapy? How about another bump instead?
Oh, you sad? I know a drink that can fix that.
Sleep, rest. You can sleep when you're dead.
I'm Rosie! Who needs intimacy when you can marry your work?
How could you be sad when you can have all this?
Hey, big spender! Hey, big spender! She walked in the joint. I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender. Good looking, so refined. Wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? So let me get right to the point. I don't pop my cork for every guy I see. Hey, big spender! Hey, big spender! Hey, big spender! A little
Pipe down with that existential crisis, chickie. You're in the next number. And now we hear about a struggle of morality and boundaries.
It ain't so much a question of not knowing what to do. I know what's right and wrong since I've been 10. I heard a lot of stories and I reckon they are true about how girls are put upon by men.
Yeah, the last number in Act 1 ended a little heavy, if you can recall. We're trying to keep things light, you know? Keep it light.
Can you just keep things light? This is a show after all.
No, I can't just keep things light. What just happened wasn't okay. I just need you to talk to me for a minute. I just want you to listen. I just want you to listen to me.
I need you to listen to me. We're in the middle of performing for our fans. This is not the time or the place.
Yeah,
But Billy,
this is inconvenient. Can you make it go away?
Make it go away? No, I can't make it go away. What just happened was terrible. Why would you listen to me? I need you to hear my feelings.
What? You think I violated you?
Yeah, you fucking violated me.
I didn't violate you. What you wanted it, and we both know it. Okay? What are you gonna have me canceled?
I didn't want it, Billy. I said no. I'm still saying no. Why don't you just hear me?
Why won't you just hear me? You're embarrassing me in front of all of my friends and fans. You're embarrassing me. You're not listening to me. You're not respecting my space. You're not respecting my boundaries. Why won't you respect my feelings?
What? You're not respecting my
You're
feelings.
not respecting my feelings.
But you're not respecting
My feelings.
My feelings.
My feelings.
My feelings. My feelings, Billy.
Hi, you two. Listen, I know you feel violated and you feel disrespected, but these people paid for a show. So can we wrap it up during the next number, sweetheart? Listen, Billy, this isn't a good look. It's not really my place to call you out, and I can't say what happened between you two. And it's not my place to remove you from the show.
Remove me from the show.
Yeah, that would totally kill the vibe. We don't want bad vibes here. Here, life is beautiful. The dancers are beautiful. Blah, blah, blah. So tell me, Billy, what is it that you care about? Winning or the show?
Is everybody here? Is everybody ready? Hit it! I don't care about expensive things, cashmere coats, diamond rings. No, not me. All I care about is love. That's what it's here for. I don't care for wearing silver cravats, ruby studs, satin spats. Don't mean a thing. All I care about is love. All he cares about is love. Give me two eyes of blue, softly saying, I need you. Let me see her standing there, and honest mister, I'm a millionaire. I don't care for any fine attire, Vanderbilt, Clyde and Meyer. No, not me. All I care about is love. All he cares about is love. Now maybe you think I'm talking about physical love. Well, I'm not. Not just physical love. There's other kinds of love, like love of justice, love of legal procedure, love of lending a hand to somebody who really needs it, love of your fellow man. That's the kind of love I'm talking about. And physical love ain't so bad either.
jealous or something, you know?
She's jealous.
Crazy.
Yeah, don't worry, Billy. She's just jealous.
Yeah. Nola, I don't know what to do. I won't let her ruin the
Oh,
show.
baby, pay no mind. Nola's here. And Nola will always have your back. I got the food, the booze, the good time, the jazz, the culture, the heritage, the sparkle. Whatever Nola wants, Nola gets. And little man, little Nola wants you. Make up your mind to have no regrets. Recline yourself, resign yourself, you're through. I'll always get what I aim for, and your heart and soul is what I came for. Whatever Nola wants, Nola gets. Lord used to fight, don't you know you can't win? There's no exception to the rule. I'm irresistible, you fool. Give in, give in.
explodes with tears of rage and blood boiling, eyes glued to the screen. How can anybody be so sure of anything when there's a sickness in the spirit and it's dragging me down? And God herself is fearing for all of us now. Peanut butter jealousy is hiding, disguising as something sweet. Out there pointing fingers, ruffling feathers. It's getting nasty. And no one ever said it would be easy. It's too easy giving up. I always feel this way when I'm reaching, when I reach out for your love. 'Cause there's a sickness in the spirit and it's dragging you down. And God herself is fearing for all of us now. Yeah, there's a sickness in the spirit and it's dragging us down. And God herself is fearing for all of us now.
Maybe she is just crazy or jealous or
Yeah, but
something.
what if people believe her? I don't know what to do.
Well, I don't know what to do. But I do know that Razzle Dazzle is next, so we should do that.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared, kid. It's all show business. This incident, the whole world, and you're working with a star. The biggest. Give up the old razzle dazzle, razzle dazzle. Give 'em an act with lots of flash in it, and the reaction will be passionate. Give 'em the old hocus
fact.
You're just
Disgusting.
razzle dazzle, and they'll never catch on. Give up the old razzle dazzle. Throw on the show that's so vociferous, row after row. Give up the old tangle.
God, we need to do something different. We're not hearing each other. We need restorative justice.
What's restorative justice?
Stick around after bows to find out.
Hi, everybody. All right, guys, the truth comes out. I'm not really a boy. I'm Grace. I'm the artistic director and choreographer, and I'm so grateful to you for coming here tonight and for giving this production your time and energy and attention. I understand that it may be kind of confusing to go see a musical theater show that it's about sexual assault, but I'm glad you chose to be here and to be curious rather than fearful. It's so important. How's everyone feeling in their bodies right now? Can you check in with your body and see what your nervous system is doing?
We love you, Miss Grace.
I love you. Yes, me too. The next part of the show is going to be a little bit of information presented to us by Maria Spell-Pouts, who's a restorative justice expert. But I think it's a good idea for us all to take a few deep breaths together because the content of the show can be a little bit triggering. Maybe you don't even realize that you're having a nervous system reaction, but I think it would be a good idea for all of us to take a few deep breaths together. We're going to take a deep inhale and exhale. Do 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Let's welcome Maria Isabel Counts to the stage.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to talk with you all this evening about restorative justice. So I want to kind of get a feel for the experience we have here. Has anyone here ever been hurt by another human being? Anybody? Anybody? Yeah? Me too. Yeah. How about the other side of the coin? Has anyone here ever harmed someone? Yeah. So it sounds like we have some experience. And in the restorative justice world, experience brings expertise. And the people who are most impacted by something are the experts in the situation. So I'm going to ask these experts, when you have been harmed by someone, what are some things that you need? You can just call it out and I'll repeat it so everyone can hear. Support. Comfort. Validation. Compassion. Acknowledgement. Love. Sensitivity. To be believed. Time. Community. Advocates. Listening. Self-esteem. Safety. Sometimes an apology. Yeah, so like when we think about what we need for ourselves and what we need from our support network, right? And what we need from the person who hurt us or the people that hurt us, is there anything we left out when we made that list that y'all want to add? Space, forgiveness.
Art like this.
Art like this. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, everybody. I saw a hand in the back. Did you want to add something? Empathy. Respect. Therapy. What about when you are the person who has harmed someone else? What do you need? Accountability. Conscientiousness. Dialogue, a chance to be honest, forgiveness.
Being cool down.
Cool down. Consequences. Reflection. Grace. Therapy. Change of behavior going forward. Time. Education. God. Love. So, does our criminal justice system meet those needs? Does street justice system meet those needs? Does cancel culture meet those needs? And so here enters restorative justice as a process built to meet those needs, both of the people who are harmed and the people who have done harm and their support network, right? Because when someone you love is harmed, you also feel less safe, right? That's part of the process. So I'm going to tell a brief story about a recent referral I got, and then I'll tell you some information like more specific to sexual assault, and then we can do question and answer and role play and whatever we have time and space for. Recently, my most recent referral was of an organization here in New Orleans that serves a neighborhood community. And this organization is about a block away from the friendly neighborhood drug dealer who also serves the same community members. One evening, the drug dealer approached the organization. Three men, including the drug dealer, approached the organization with baseball bats, yelling, trying to get in, looking through the windows, etc. And so the organization is, how are we going to deal with this? How are we going to create a safe space in our neighborhood, knowing that this person and we live right here, right? And so they called me up, and I called each participant on the phone, and then I got together with them and prepared them. So a lot of people envision restorative justice as a process where you just put a bunch of people in a room together, and that is not what happens. The most important part of the process is creating a safe space. And how do we do that? We don't just put people in a space together, we create a space. We prepare everybody to come together, we help them bring their best selves to it, right? And so I spoke with everybody. We kind of talked through the questions of what would happen and the conversation in the circle, and then we came together. During the circle, we talk about three main things. You ready? We talk about what happened. We acknowledge people's experience of what happened. People have a chance to say, what were you thinking when you decided to do that? People get a chance to say, I noticed you did that. What did that mean? People get a chance to say, I need you to hear what it was like for me, right? So first we acknowledge the harm and talk about what happened. If the offender or the person responsible for the harm cannot acknowledge some part of responsibility, we don't even get to that. Like, that comes out in the prep. When we convene, that's like part of the process that happens. Is it easy to sit in front of people and talk about what you've done to them? No, it's not. So sometimes it takes the time to be there. Sometimes we also bring in support. At the last session I talked about, one time I had a referral for a jumping. There was 5 young women who attacked one young woman, right? One of the young women involved, her mom came to the fight with baseball bats, kind of upping the ante, right? When we have circles with young people, we bring in their support networks and their families around them, right? But this young woman's mom was also involved, right? So what did we need to do? We needed to bring in more support. So we went to grandma, right? We're gonna find the people to be in the circle to help you be your best self, right? So that's how we get to this place where we can acknowledge the harm in people's experience. Then we talk about the impact. What was it like for you? What have you experienced since then? How has this impacted your life, right? And people get to talk about their experience and how they have been impacted. Then, and only then, do we get to what can we do to make things better? We can't take the white out and fix everything, but what would you need from Billy to feel better about what happened?
Well, in the play, Sophie tried to talk to Billy a few times and Billy wouldn't listen. So first things first, I would just need a space for Billy to feel supported and be open to speaking with me about it and hear what my experience was. And then I would need to talk about how to feel safe in the spaces that I was entering. So if we were to be in a performance space or to be have like the same bar that we go to, I would want to know that I could go to the space and not just be on guard all the time. So I'd like to think about how to navigate my friend groups and public spaces.
So I heard 2 agreement items. One was to be able to acknowledge your experience. Billy, would you be willing to say something to Sophie to acknowledge her experience?
Yes, I would. I hear you. Yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't listen. It's hard to listen when you feel like listening and accepting and acknowledging what you do will get you exiled or canceled or completely excluded and kept away.
You hear that? I don't want you to feel afraid of the consequences so much that you won't hear my experience and come up with a solution with me. I just want you to grow.
The second part of Sophie's request that I've heard was about shared spaces. What could you offer about entering into spaces where Sophie might be present?
I could offer to check in with her before I go to places where I know she frequents. I could agree to not be in certain spaces. I could agree to certain ways that I will treat her in those spaces.
There are some spaces that I really want to keep for myself, and I know I can't keep you away from all the spaces, but there's just like one restaurant that I want to go and I don't want to ever see you there. Is that reasonable?
It's reasonable.
Okay. I also have, we have mutual friends. And I don't want you to talk about this with them. I want to be able to bring it up with them in a way that makes me feel comfortable, and I'm afraid of what you're going to tell them, and I'm afraid it's going to be a lie.
I hear you. I can agree to do that. I also fear the same thing. I'm afraid of what you'll tell friends.
I need a support network, though. Like, I'm going to need to talk about this with people who support me and care about me, and what did happen was harm. And I need to talk through the harm with them, and they might not like you.
That's hard, but I understand.
So if a restorative justice facilitator is really doing their job, they can kind of just exit the scene, right? Right? So that's the whole goal, is for the people who are most involved and affected by harm to have a process together, right? To have this space. I'm gonna open up for questions. I think one really amazing question that came out of the last session was, what do people who have been harmed, who have survived harm, what do they get about this process? And I'm gonna ask a couple people to, if you think of something, call it out, and then I'll share some things, and then we'll open it up for questions. So what do you think someone in Sophie's situation gets out of a process like this? Closure. Take back some power.
Clarity, some authority into the situation.
Some authority, some choice, some power. A voice.
Understand that she doesn't owe him anything.
Understanding she doesn't owe him anything.
Safety if it goes well.
Safety if it goes well. So there's a lot of things that people who have been harmed need that they can't get from anyone else but this person. They can't go get, why me? All the things that go through your head when somebody does something messed up to you, that continue to go round and round in your head, those things are things that you can get from that person if there's a safe process, right? If there's a safe process. And so that's the key part of this structure, is having a safe process where you can say, what were you thinking? Why me? I need to tell you what this was like for me, right? Okay, questions?
What do you do if somebody just won't even show up?
Mhm.
They don't even want to do it.
Yeah, so that's a real possibility. And sometimes it takes time, right? The first time I call Billy up, is it gonna be easy for Billy to just be like, oh yeah, sure, I wanna do this, right? And you know, there's gonna be a process in it. So there's a percentage of cases that actually go to convening. There's a percentage of cases that actually reach an agreement, and then there's a percentage of cases that fulfill agreement. Startling enough, the numbers are really high. And I'm trying to remember, I think it's like 80% of the time you get to circle. 85, 90% of the time you reach an agreement, and 85, 90% of the time you fulfill an agreement, right? But would we convene if Billy wasn't able to take responsibility or acknowledge that something had happened? No, because would that be supportive? Would the healing happen? No, right? So I think hopefully I answered that question. Yeah, okay. There was something else I wanted to say, but while I was talking, I forgot. If it comes back, I will share it.
I remember last time you answered a question like that. You said,
Yeah.
you mentioned that if the person who was the perpetrator of the violence chooses to no longer be a part of it, then people often move forward in the criminal justice system, and that's kind of the option.
Yeah, so part of this process is the referral part, right? And so you can get a referral from the criminal justice system, or you can get a referral from the school system, or you can get a referral from people, right? And so when I get a referral from the criminal justice system or from a school system, I tell the participants, I say, this is an opportunity for you to have a say in what happens. If not, I will refer it back to the criminal justice system or the school system, and they will move forward with their regular process, right? Which is like a trial, school suspension, school expulsion, etc., right? In the case of the neighborhood organization, I said, I'm gonna call up the friendly neighborhood drug dealer, and I'm gonna say, hi, so-and-so let you know that I would be giving you a call to let you know a little bit more about this process, right? And if you choose to, you will have a say in how this is addressed. If not, I'll return it back to them, and they'll decide how to address this without your input, right? And so that's kind of how it's staged. Other questions?
The person in the pink had a question.
Yes.
Oh, well, I was kind of following the last point, but I was, it's not a question so much, but an open opinion of how it might feel to not, in my experience, a lot of times when bullshit has happened to me, I've dealt with it very much internally and on my own. And so much to the point where I've gone past it and I'm over it internally, and that feels super powerful for me. So I kind of wanted to know the opinion of like not opening it up to said perpetrator, also on so forth, and how people might feel about that, and whether that's a good way to process or not, or blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so the question is what if the survivor's like, I don't want to reopen this wound, and I've dealt with this, and I've moved forward with my life, and I don't. Are we going to force the survivor into this process?
Yeah.
The answer is no. Okay. Everybody say no. No.
I think what you're saying is very valid. I think everybody's healing process is very different and unique to them, and there's no map for it. And I think that every case is different. Sometimes when you've had harm done and you need to return to a community where the other person is present, it can be really difficult. And sometimes you might need, both of you might need, to know how to feel normal in those spaces again. But yeah, that's good on you.
Yeah, I just think sometimes like, fuck, did I fuck it? Should I like open it up more? I don't know.
I did remember the thing I wanted to say about your question. I did a sexual assault case once, and it took us months of preparation to get to the point where people came together. And so it's not like okay, at first glance, this is what's gonna happen, right? There's like many meetings, we get together and prepare people in sessions, and then we get to that point. So it's not always a cut or dry, like, do you know what's gonna happen, kind of thing. In that case, in the last session, people were really curious about what had come out of that agreement, and a lot of it was both acknowledgement of what happened and also things about being in shared spaces.
How would you find that resource, like an avenue to get restorative justice in a community
Here in New Orleans, I can help you find someone. So my contact information is on, is in the program, and I have some flyers up here for a series of workshops that I'm doing at First Grace. And I think it's kind of, there's a network of facilitators, and so some of us are connected to nonprofits, some of us do it as consulting, so it's you know, but if you're interested in that kind of thing, I can connect you with someone.
I also know that the person who asked this question is from Lafayette, and I know that you also have ties to Lafayette, so you might have resources there as well.
Yeah, we have an entire resource table too that I would like to invite you to check out of restorative justice resources, other support, resources from STAR, which is Sexual Trauma Awareness and Response, Family Justice Center. Check it out, take your time, look over.
And we have a special guest, E, but I don't know if you wanted to say anything. Yeah.
About the Family Justice Center?
Yes, it's an E.
That was amazing, first of all. I'll be the first to say of many, but that was very powerful, moving. Yeah, I can say a few words just about one resource, which is the Family Justice Center. They're just survivors. So the person who caused harm we don't really serve, and that's why I think restorative justice spaces are really important, but just like a wealth of different services, really depending on where you're at. You know, some people, things happened in childhood or 10 years ago and just want a yoga class, acupuncture, Reiki, those kinds of things, therapy. Please come in. Or something as acute as they went to the hospital and had to get a forensic exam because it just happened last night. So really the whole, any experience with sexual violence or domestic violence, that's what we're here for. We have lots of different services, housing, education and employment, but a lot of the therapeutic stuff that I think is really what so many of us have just mentioned in terms of support, compassion, non-judgment, what you need to kind of get through because everybody's feeling is different. So yeah, thanks for the shout out and thanks for this.
I'll take one more question and then I'll just be available if anybody wants anything else. Yeah.
I'm curious if you have any advice about how we can be better community members if we know that an incident such as sexual assault that we're not directly involved in.
Yeah. So I'm doing a series of workshops at First Grace, and they're on Monday evenings. And the question is, how can we build a society in which it's easier to do right? And I used to be a community organizer for the Louisiana Violence Prevention Alliance and with People's Hurricane Relief Fund and different projects. And over my entire organizing experience, I've heard the same story over and over again. When, the elders saying, when I was a kid, before I got to my parents' house, there were 5 adults who set me straight if I had done something wrong. And when I got to my parents' house, they already knew what I had done, right? And that we have lost kind of that social community feel with one another. And how do we reclaim that, right, as a society? And so we're gonna be doing this series of workshops with skills from, active listening and speaking and setting boundaries and thinking about how do you apply this in different situations? How do I take this kind of process and apply it in my workplace? How do I apply it in my home? How do I apply it with my partner, right? Because it's not just for one situation. If we wait until this happened, too much has already gone wrong, right? So my last position doing this was in a school with itty bitties, and at home with my itty bitties, I do that, right? So if they harm each other, they already know, okay, we have to stop and do a cool down skill. And then they say, I felt frustrated, how did you feel? And they say, I really like it when people share. Next time could you share? And the other one says, okay, and then they run off, right? But for other people who see our kids do that, I'm not too much later. We're really proud of that because this is the next generation, right? I didn't grow up with that language or that process, right? And so now my best friend, who's amazing, does me something. I'm like, can can we talk? You know, right? And so how do we build this into our everyday life so things don't get to this level, right? And how do, when this does happen, how do we hold people and give them that safe space? So I hope you will join us, and there's flyers for it on the table.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your support. To further answer your question, I would say just be real. Be real with people. Life is messy. Life is difficult. And it's uncomfortable sometimes. And my approach to it, because I too have known people who have been accused of things or that I'm friends with or I'm close with, and my approach to it is to see if they're open to a conversation so I can talk to them and say like, hey, like, how do you perceive what happened? What have you done since doing this thing? And trying to make them feel safe to say like, yeah, I messed up. And let them know that, they're safe to be imperfect, but like, what are we doing to change how that's happening? And, just not ignoring it, just being real.